Hello, this is our second piano lesson. Now, today I've got somebody helping me so you can see how I'm sitting. This is really important when you're playing the piano because the power for playing the piano does not come from your fingers. Your fingers don't have any muscles in them. So where the actual power is coming from is in the muscles in your arm and your shoulders, but in your back. And so it's really important that you have a nice straight back, that you're not so close to the piano that you're all scrunched up or so far away that you can't reach. You want to be just right, sitting opposite middle C. Do you remember middle C? The white note just below the two black notes. And all of those are C's. And you can hear that they're all the same note, they're just different pitches, higher or lower. Okay, so we've got this nice sitting position. We're going to look at the music that we've got here. We're going to have our arms quite relaxed. If I want this to be a better position, sometimes people play like this. I'm not going to lift my shoulders up, I'm just going to lift my wrist up. And do you remember, we don't want angry bear claws, we want slightly sleepy bear claws, like that. So they just sit on the piano. Now this is a good sitting position. Like this, I can reach the whole piano. And I'm really comfortable and I can move my arms about really easily. Okay, come and have a look at the keyboard. What we're going to do today is practice those 5 notes we were doing yesterday. C, D, E, F, G. Notice that all the fingers are staying gently sitting on the notes the whole time. And this part of my hand, look at that. I can balance a pencil. Now if I drop down like this, whoops, there it goes. You need to keep this nice and flat, but not by lifting your shoulders, just by lifting your wrist to the right place. So we're going to say the letter names as we play them. C, D, E, F, G. And then we're going to come down. G, E, E, G, F, E, D, C. Okay? Remember, if you say it as you play it, it's helping your brain to remember it in lots of different ways. We can also do this with our left hand. So I'm going to put my thumb on exactly the same C, middle C. Now this time I'm going to walk down. So the note below C is going to be B, then A, and do you remember the musical alphabet? We've got to go to G, F, and then we're going to come up again, F, G, A, B, C. Now you can also do this with both thumbs on middle C. See if you can play at the same time, walking away from each other. Now there are some important things about this. Each note wants to be exactly the same length and exactly the same weight. So I haven't got ones that I'm really pushing down heavily and then one I'm doing quite weakly and then suddenly faster. I want everything to be the same and the same volume. And even that last note, I was thinking to myself, 1 off. Okay. C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, C. We're going to have a little look at some manuscript. Now, on the music stand today, I've got a piece of music, Counting Tigers, that we've been singing in Key Stage 1 Singing Assembly. It starts with that lovely musical symbol, the treble clef. But what is a treble clef? Well, it's a kind of a signpost. It's telling you that on these 5 lines, where you will find middle C is right down at the bottom with its own special line. That's called a ledger line. So whenever I see that, I know I'm going to play middle C. what are these 5 lines about? They're like a ladder. If you imagine climbing up a ladder, rung by rung, these are like the lines on the stave, but it's not just the lines, it's also the spaces in between the lines. So let's imagine a ladder that's got black rungs and then white rungs for the space, and then a black rung for a line and a white rung for a space, and then a black line for a rung and a white rung for a space. You know what I'm saying here. Line, space, line, space, line, space, line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines and 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. And in that treble clef, do you remember the treble clef? We've got that amazing shape. Middle C lives on its own special little line, the ledger line at the bottom. So let's come and have a look at this music again. Where I see the treble clef, I can see that on the second line I've got a note. Now the bottom line in the treble clef is E. The second line has got to be 2 notes away. So E on the line, F in the space, so this must be G. And that's this G, the one that I'm playing with my little finger, or as we say, the 5th finger, 5. So if I'm going to play this, I'm going to play G, G. Now I've got to move 1 down, so I've got to go to F. I'm going to use my 4th finger, and then I'm going to come back up to the G. These notes are very clever. They're not only telling me which note to play, they're also telling me how long to play it for. These black dots with lines are called crotchets, and they're worth 1 beat. So I can look at that and I can play G, G, F, G. And those are the first 4 notes of I've Been Counting Tigers. So tomorrow we'll have another look at the rest of the notes on the stave. Thank you. Have a good day.